like I would create a page in less than 40 minutes. I wouldn't proofread it or edit it or nothing. I put stock photos. There's still like test pages on the website. There's like
Ipsum Sorum.
It's just not, I didn't put all my best behind it. It's generating leads right now.
Welcome to Masters of Home Service, the best podcast for home service pros like us. I'm your host, Adam Sylvester, and I want you to crush it in business. How's your website doing? Have you touched it recently? A lot of people just build a website in like a night or two when they first start their business, and then they just forget about it and never really think about it ever again. My guest today is Oscar Gill, and he is a master at SEO, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he can give you a game plan for your business going forward. So Oscar, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Glad to be back on the show.
Yeah. So about SEO, what do you think is the most common mistake that early entrepreneurs make, the listeners of the show that are making with SEO? Like, what do you think is the most common problem?
Yeah, I think a common theme you can put it is like there's two types. There's two things to a website. You have the design portion, which is like how it looks and the photos or the text or the color. And then you have the optimization part. So too many people are spending too much time on the design part, making it look fancy or trying to make it do some cool things on the website, where you can spend however much time or however much money on a web design that looks fantastic, modern, beautiful, has all this functionality. But if it's not optimized to where it's ranking for specific keywords in your area for the services that you offer, that website will still produce no results for you. So it doesn't matter if you spend a whole year on it or you spend $5,000 on getting the most unique looking website. If it's not optimized, it's not going to produce results. So that's why I say spend 80% of your time on the optimization and 20% of your time on the design. Because the design, as long as it's clean and simple and has a few call to actions and a few key parts to it, it'll take you much, much further having a fully optimized website with a simple design than having like this super functional, crazy looking website with no optimization.
Yeah, I've seen so many people make these sexy, beautiful, amazing websites and they're useless because the bones are so bad. Give me an example of what like an optimized page looks like. What's the header actually? Give me an example of give us the answers to the test.
Yeah, so to optimize a page, and this is going to be, there's going to be three types of pages that you want to optimize. Your home page, your service page, and then if you go to the customer, which I think most of us do, will be your service area pages. Now, the biggest pages, the most pages you want to make are going to be your service pages. So on each page, it's going to be the list of things you have to optimize is your page title, meta description, the URL, the content you want to have between, let's say, 800 to 1400 words, depending on the service. If you just want to average things out, each page should have 1,000 words of content. Your homepage, you kind of want to push that more towards 1600 words of content because the homepage will be the strongest page. You want to have one H1, which is going to be on the hero section. You want to have 2 to 4.
The hero section?
So the hero section is just above the fold, like the first top,
above the fold.
Is the top part of the page. You want to have one heading 1 or H1, 2 to 4 H2s. And then another big part of it is you need to make sure all your pages are interlinked to each other. You never want to have...
Let me pause for a second. So like header 1 would be gutter cleaning in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yeah. So basically,
right?
Yeah. So you want to have one page per keyword. So you might say, oh, well, I do these 3 services and I can just cram it in there. Well, if that's the case, create 3 different pages.
3 pages, yeah.
That way... each page has its own specific keyword it's going for. So if you are in, Austin and you're an HVAC, your homepage might be HVAC specialist in Austin. Okay. And then let's say you also offer plumbing. Well, then you'll create a second page that says best plumbers in Austin. Let's say you're electrical as well because you have a big company. Then best electrical, whatever in Austin. So it's one page per keyword for the most part.
So what should the header 2 say?
Yes, on that one, the how you want to kind of play that is you don't want to like what's called keyword stuffing, where you're just best plumbers in Austin, hired best plumbers in Austin. Google, I mean, we're in 2025. Google is far beyond understanding that already. So basically, it's like, and the way I put it is write the page. Let's say 1,000 words. Write the page first and foremost, answering the questions and giving the best information you can to your potential customer. What is the service? What it's about? Who's it for? Who's it not for? How long does it take? What tools, products you use? What's the expected outcome? How long does it take? Insurance, whatever. Like, give the best answer of a page that you can in 1,000 words. So write for the human first.
Okay.
After that, you go back in there, and that's where you do the small, minute optimizations to make it SEO friendly. So let's say, you know, if you are in Austin, you'd want to have, let's say, Austin in your H1 tag, and you'd want to have the Austin keyword and maybe 2 of the H2s that you have. So like, you don't need to go overly crazy and like just every single word, every single paragraph has like your service and your city. Write for the human first. After the fact, make sure that your service keyword is in there, let's say 4 to 6 times.
Okay.
And let's say your service area, like the city, let's say that's in there another 4 to 6 times. Like that's like an entire SEO. You literally replicate that on every page, your homepage, your services pages, and your service area pages. And you interlink everything, meaning if you talk about, you know, gutter cleaning on this page, and you also offer, you know, window cleaning, then you're interlinking these pages to each other. You make sure all pages are interlinked to each other, and that's an entire SEO strategy. Like, that's literally what you do on every page every time. It's very easy to lean toward the design part because it's like the most front-facing part of it. Whereas like you know, whether you're using Squarespace or Weebly or WordPress, what have you, like the design part, it's the most like it hits you in the face because that's what you see. But in terms of discovery, in terms of like people finding your website and being interested in your services or inquiring about whatever services that you offer, that has to be the actual technical SEO part. And another common misconception is like it has to be very technical, whereas like there's coding or like there's this like very like robust, you know, behind the scenes that you have to figure out. It's very straightforward. Like the analogy I always use is like if you drive standard, like a car, manual, the mechanics of it is like very simple. But it's like making it second nature is a thing that takes a while. So like the actual input of SEO and what you have to do on the back end in terms of the page title, meta description, whatever you have to do, it's quite simple. It's just like actually learning what you how to put the whole strategy together to actually produce results on your website.
What are some of the most critical elements to a website with SEO that you would think is it header tags? Is it image titles? Like, what are some of those elements that our listeners should be paying attention to?
Big picture thinking, I would say all those things are important. And I'll give you a quick rundown. Like every page on your website needs to have an optimized, not just a page, an optimized page title, optimized meta description, optimized URL, optimized H1 and H2. All those things have to be on every page. But I think the biggest mistake I see when it comes to like optimizing a page is the lack of content. Like if I go to any website right now, every page they have, like that website might have maybe 2 to 4 pages, maybe at max. And then those pages might have 200 to 300 words of content. So I'd say like I lean a lot more towards the content heavy side. So like whenever we're creating websites, on average, each page is going to have 1,000 words of content, right? Some might be like 1,400, some might be like 900, 800. But on average, every page has around 1,000 words of content. Just because, again, like you're giving more information to Google on what your website is about. But then also on the user side, you know, there's going to be some people that like just quickly skim a page. They'll read a few bullet points. Okay, good. I'll call them. Then you have other people that will like read every single word and read every single little FAQ that you put on there, and that helps them out. So from what I just said, like having those optimized things and then going heavy on the content are like the key elements to every page. And again, like that's literally it. Like as far as like on-page optimization, doing those things, interlinking, and then being heavy on the content, like that's what you literally need on every page to be successful.
Yeah. I know what we've been doing for the last, 18 months is building out a page for each like subdivision in our city. So obviously Charlottesville, Virginia is like the main homepage, but then there's Crozet, Virginia, and there's Albemarle County, and there's Earlysville, and there's all these like sub towns that people live in. And if they might search like literally Forest Lakes gutter cleaning. And if there's a page for that on your website, then they will land on that page, and then they will end up doing business with you because you caught them. And so you can create this whole web, this like huge net of all these sub pages based on like localities in your town, instead of just focusing on like Charlottesville or Houston.
Yeah, that's true. And that's one method you could do. I mean, a big thing from that too, because there's with local SEO, and I make that a clear point. Like there's a difference between like web SEO and local SEO.
Yeah, right? We'll get into that.
Web SEO could be like e-commerce or software, right? Where you're trying to rank like a blog post. That's not like local SEO, because local SEO is very intent based. Like the only reason anyone searches for any local business is because there's a problem, right? So we're not trying to rank for a blog post or for like some product or some, random page. Another big thing with that when it comes to location and such, it's going to be like, and it's going to be a little more difficult depending on your style of business or your type of business or your location or the services that you do. But it's also having like not just a Google business profile and not just an optimized Google business profile, but then having a physical location, because that'll be a big difference in terms of ranking. Because with SEO, with local SEO, there's 3 places you can rank on, right? There's the local map pack, which is when it shows like three businesses. You have the organic listing at the bottom, which is the 10 organic listings, and then ranking like in the maps itself, right? And having an address is probably, again, it's good because it means like not every business is going to be able to have like a verified address. So in one regard, it's kind of an advantage if you are able to get an address. But then it also kind of slows you down. Now, maybe it doesn't slow you down, but you're just kind of climbing a bigger uphill battle when you don't have a physical address associated to your Google business profile.
Yeah, because if you have an address, then Google is going to funnel you more calls because you're close by. And if you don't have an address at all, then Google doesn't like that as much. It's just that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, because on that one in the settings, you're considered like a service area business, so it's kind of generic. Which if you're in a smaller area with not as much competition, not as many businesses that have addresses, you will still show up. You won't have like the little directions tab. It's just like it'll show you there. But yeah, if you're like in a somewhat decent market where there's more businesses that have addresses, it's a harder hill to climb. Just because even if you rank on the first page, but you're ranking on the organics list, which is like those 10 links underneath the maps, most of the clicks are going to go to those three to that map pack. So yeah, like it's a lot easier said than done to get an address, but having an address will make a big difference in local SEO to optimize your Google business profile.
How else do you optimize it? Photos, videos, like how else do you make sure that Google's like showing your local listing instead of just like disappearing into the
Yeah. So on that one, it's always like, and this is like across like whether you're doing it for Yelp or anything, it just literally fill out everything. Like that's the most basic thing you can say, because on the Google business profile, it doesn't show everything across the devices. Like some things that you see on the mobile device aren't shown on the desktop.
Right. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you just want to fill out everything as much as you can. And there's two things to it, because like for instance the Google business profile posts, it's not really like an optimization for SEO to where like if I post once a day it's going to help my SEO. But what it can do, because there's 2 parts to it. There's like the optimization and then the conversion side of things, right? So like it's not gonna like boost your profile in terms of, oh, he's posting more frequently, he's adding keywords in there, so we're gonna rank him higher. But it might show where if you are ranking well with your profile and people click on your listing and they scroll down and they see, oh, the last time he posted something was 2 years ago, then maybe that's in the signal to the potential customer saying, oh, like they haven't posted in 2 years, so maybe they're not active or something. So it's not really like an optimization thing, just like a conversion based thing. So the easiest answer is fill out every field that you can and just maximize as much as you can from it. Even filling out the services or even the products. Like what we do is I have the services listed out on my profile, but then what you can also do is, and this isn't like optimization, it's for like kind of conversion, but you can create products as if it was like an e-commerce product.
Yeah.
Still fill it out for the URL, add the page to your website. That way on the mobile device, because it's not going to show on the desktop, on the mobile device, it'll show products and it'll show your services right then and there in the forefront. So yeah, but like everything I just said, literally just fill everything out as much as you can. If there's some fields that don't pertain to your business, you can leave those blank. But for the most part, and again, whether it's Yelp or your Facebook profile or your Google business profile, just fill out as much information as you can.
Yeah. Oscar, I want to pause for a minute and talk about Jobber. Jobber helps people get reviews for their business and it helps optimize their website. How does Jobber help people get reviews?
Yeah, so inside of Jobber, there's the, you can automate the review process, and that one is vitally important. Like it doesn't matter if you have 50 reviews or 100 reviews or 500 reviews. Like that's something that never stops. Just because it builds instant trust with complete strangers. Like if there's a business that has 5 reviews with 3.5 star rating overall, or a second business doing the same thing with 300 reviews with a 4.9 star rating overall, the trust immediately goes to the business that has the greater rating. So that's something that like we use every day, and that it's you should never stop using is getting reviews, and Jobber definitely makes that easier.
Yeah, Jobber makes that super easy. If you're not using Jobber, you need to, especially for getting more 5-star reviews. Go to jobber.com/podcast deal, get the exclusive discount, and start using Jobber to run your business today. I think I've always looked at it from like, there's two buckets of SEO. There's the SEO that's the content that's designed for Google to find me and to show me. And then there's content that's really actually just there for my browsers, my prospects to like learn about me. It's not necessarily there for Google. And so do you make a distinction there too? Like this content's really for Google and this content's actually just for eyeballs.
Yeah, because like it's very easy to go into it's called the Google Keyword Planner, which it shows you all the search volume for a specific keyword in your area. And it's very easy to try to create content like just around whatever search volume is there. So there's two kinds of pages you can create, right? There's gonna be like an optimized page made for optimization. Like you're gonna try to rank this page on the first page of Google and people will find it. And depending on what business you're in, that's gonna be like your most popular services. And then it's what I call like an explore page. So like there's page, like for instance, there's services that we offer. Like for instance, like it's called a smoke odor removal. Pretty self-explanatory. We remove the smoke out of the odor out of a vehicle. Mm-hmm. If you look inside the Google Keyword Planner, there's technically zero search volume for that service. Like it technically says no one is searching.
So small.
It's so there's nothing to be shown.
Yeah.
So we still created a page, optimize it. It's on our website. And it's like a month after we published that website, I mean, we've generated maybe, and it's not going to be much. It's like maybe 4 to 10 leads a month for that specific service. But again, like if you compound that over a year and you say that's 50, 60 leads, and the average ticket price is 600, that's all based off of a keyword.
Yeah.
That said, there's no search volume. Like no one is searching for this keyword. Yet it's still generating, let's say, call it 400 leads in a year on a keyword that there's technically, by the Google Keyword Planner, no search volume. So in that one, it's like a lot of people would say, oh, there's no search volume, so like I'm not even gonna bother with that one. But like for us in our business, we had a lot of people asking for that service. So it's like, well, clearly there's a need for it for people in our area. I checked the Google Keyword Planner, there was no search volume. And again, like if I was, no one's searching for it, so it doesn't matter. But again, that's why like it's not made to like go and get a ton of leads and be like bring you a ton of customers. But there's still people, like, because people were asking us for that service, some people were asking for it. And once we publish it, we're like, man, and because no one is like ranking for that keyword,
it's cheap.
We're the only ones.
Yeah,
so it's
easy.
like, you're the only one that I found in your area that offers this service, which is why I'm with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I said that there's two types of pages. There's one that's going to bring in traffic. It's going to, bring you a lot of leads. And then you have the other ones, the explore pages, where it's not going to be a massive keyword with a bunch of volume. It's not going to be like this money, this lead generator that's going to just pump out leads every single day. But if it's niche enough, and if it's a problem you're solving, people are searching for that. Even if it doesn't say, people are searching for that in Google, and you'll literally be the only person for that for that solution, because you're the only one that's ranking for it.
Yeah. And if you add up all the pages that you're doing that with, then you get tons of leads, because it's the long tail. You have your homepage, tons of leads. Maybe the second most visited website or page on your site gets a ton of leads too, but then it quickly goes down. Yeah. But all those little hits make a difference. You've add them all together.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like that's like for like the thing that we do is like we create a page for every service that we have.
Yeah.
And depending on what market you are, like sometimes like the how most businesses do it, depending on the industry that you're in, is they'll have like packages, and I always stay away from that, just because you're like you said earlier, you're able to cast a wider net if you have a dedicated page for every service. So
and people don't Google packages; they Google the service they're thinking of in their own words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's much easier and a lot more effective to rank for a bunch of different services, whether it's a big keyword or a small keyword, if you break all the services into pages. That's why when you go to like, because we only have like 14 services, which to others might seem a lot, but then you go to like HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and assuming like they have all those services in one business, I mean, they have like 60 different pages for every little service that they have. And it might seem like overkill, but like it also helps to the point where like, if you have an issue with I don't know, there's something very specific, and then you see that very specific problem as a service that they offer, you're like, oh, that's exactly what I needed. Like, if your if your AC goes out, of course you're gonna go and look for, AC repair, what have you. But if there's I don't know, just think about something niche, and then you see that very specific service on someone's website, you're like, oh man, that's exactly what I needed. Like,
yeah.
It's not like this grand, like, oh, I just need a general AC repair. It's like, that's the exact problem I need, and they do it, so let me contact them about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a home remodeler, a lot of people are going to Google home remodeler. But also, people are going to Google bathroom remodel and basement remodel and attic and bathroom and a bedroom remodel and dining room remodel. And if you have a page for each one of those, you're going to get all the business.
Yeah, I mean that's as simple as it is. Yeah, and it is a lot of work. But the great thing about SEO is that it's for the most part a one-time deal. Right. And that's why I say I put such an emphasis on optimization and not design, just because literally on the design part, if you just spend however long you want creating one good looking template, you just use that template for the next 40 pages. Like, you don't, the design part is I think most businesses over index on how important they think design is. You have to have a few key elements, call to actions, what have you. It's nowhere near as important. And it's not just my opinion. I would look at a lot of other $10 to $300 million home service businesses to see what their website looks like, because they pull in a lot of organic traffic. Mm-hmm. Literally the 20 I've looked at, and I clicked on every page and went through everything just to get a full in-depth analysis, like how their website is built. I'd say 80% of their pages are just the exact same template, just replaced with different photos and different content. So that's why I don't over-index on the design, because the optimization part, getting more eyeballs on your website for whatever services or whatever industry that you're in, that's far more important and impactful to your business than trying to make every page it has to be different, and let's do literally don't 20% of your time should be on design. Yeah,
when I started my lawn care business back in 2013, the 2 or 3 years thereafter, the whole fad was make your website as amazing looking as possible. But now when I go to these big websites you're talking about, all these home service companies are nationwide, they don't look like that. They don't look amazing. But they have really good structure, and they're effective. They work. And so I used to get surprised by that. I expected this company to have this really visually enticing website, but that's not what sells. It looks good enough for the eyeball, but it's catering to both. It's catering to Google for organic search and leads, because that's all that matters is leads. And it looks good enough for the eyeballs, but they're not going overboard on that, because it doesn't really matter long term. That used to surprise me. It doesn't surprise me anymore, because I know what they're doing now.
Yeah, and that's what I say. The most common thing as far as when you're building a website, is that everyone likes to say, oh, I want to get on WordPress, because it allows you to be the most customizable, and you can do all these crazy things. And WordPress does allow you to do a lot of customization. The issue with that is most, and in my industry for sure, most of them can't even learn that amount of, the learning curve is too big.
Yeah, no way.
And it's the amount of time it learns you to figure out 3 features to this thing on another platform, you can learn it in half the time, still have a very great, clean looking website, but not spend, you spend more time learning how to use it than just making the website when you try to think about WordPress or Elements or all these things. So that's why most of the time, anyone who talks about creating a website, 8 out of 10 times they're overdoing the design part. Yeah, I have another example where I have a second website that I created in my area, just as a let me just test some things out. I'm not putting any time or effort behind it. I would create a page in less than 40 minutes. I wouldn't proofread it or edit it or nothing. I put stock photos. The most I'm gonna just put the most minimal effort on this website. There's still test pages on the website. There's
Ipsum Sorum.
It's just not. It's not. I didn't put all my best behind it. It's generating leads right now. Granted, I don't have any reviews on the Google Business Profile, no photos on the Google Business Profile. All the pages are halfway done, but it's optimized, and it might get maybe 10 leads a month.
I'll be darned.
But it's and that's why I can verify it's more on the optimization, not the design. Because if I literally just had 10 more reviews on their thing or added a few more photos, it would generate more leads. Yeah. So that's why I know for sure without a shadow of a doubt that the optimization is far more important than the design. Because if I just spent maybe 3 more hours on that thing, it would probably generate more leads. It was just a side project. It was never meant to like be a second bid, or like it was always just like a testing. But that just goes to show like, yeah, that's like, optimization is far more important than design.
Yeah. And if there's somebody out there who's like, I'm not sure if my website's like good enough, there are tools online that you can put your website URL in, and it'll tell you how good it is. It'll give you a score, and it'll say your header 1 is bad, your header 2 is bad, your title is bad. It'll tell you all these things. And then depending on who built your website, you might be able to go do it yourself. I'm a big fan of Squarespace. But there's a way you could probably use ChatGPT and like ask it, like, how do I make my website better? And it'll give you feedback, and then you go in there and make the changes yourself. And so there's definitely things that people can do right now to like turn that dial immediately to make their website better.
Yeah, for sure. And like, for one, yeah, because there's so much nuance to it, because like technically you can have a website that's like getting clicks and ranking on the first page and getting like traffic to the website. But then if you're missing some key elements on the website itself and it's not conversion optimized, well, then you won't generate as many leads, just because like you're not giving the users like a clear call to action, right? So like on every page, what I do is there's on the hero section, there's going to be a click to call for the mobile devices, and then a get a quote or schedule book online, however they want to do it. And then throughout the page, it's going to be that get a quote. And then the bottom is going to be the click to call, and then the book with us button. Just because, yeah, like even with me, like probably like 4 years ago, I did that, and I added a lot more call to actions. And like I objectively saw an increase in leads. Yeah. Totally. Just because there was more call to action. Like instead of them having like to click on the navigation or scroll up or scroll down, like every few thumb scrolls, a call to action would be there. So they just, let me just click that and fill out the form. So that's, yeah. So like it could be fully optimized and whatever, but then, and that's the nuance part, because then let's say it's fully optimized, you're getting traffic, it's conversion optimized, so you're getting leads. That still doesn't guarantee you get customers though, because then once the lead is generated, everything after that is no longer marketing anymore.
The sales. Then
it goes straight to sales. And the biggest issue I see is that, not in a rude way or anything, but like it's almost too lazy just to say, hey, these leads aren't good. Like, what can we do about it? Because, right. And again, like whether it's local SEO or Facebook ads or meta ad, whatever the case may be, because if you're closing at a 10% close ratio, if you're able to generate, let's say 100 leads, which would be amazing. Like I don't know how many businesses generate 100 leads as is, but at a 10% close ratio, you're only booking in 10 customers. So on that same math, you're like, well, I guess we need 200 leads to get 20 customers on the board. And that's just like, that's not sustainable. Like you literally like, that makes no sense. So even with like, that's why all these things come into like, it has to be one, nucleus working together, because with the business owners that I talk to, they put such, which again, like lead generation, super important. That's how you grow your business. It must be done. But after that lead is generated, it goes to sales. And then if your sales process isn't dialed in, it's very, very easy to just blame the marketing.
Right.
It's so easy just to blame the agencies. Hey, like these leads aren't good. They're not picking up. We only booked in five jobs this month. So I try to tell everyone, whether it's whatever business owner, it's like, as important as it is, no matter how much money you're putting in, even if it's firing on all cylinders, if your sales process is not optimized, everything else you just did is also not going to work out.
Yeah. And you want to make sure that you're attracting the right customers too. Your website needs to make sure that you're attracting who you want. Low-end customers, high-end customers, somewhere in the middle. The words that you use, the images that you use, the videos that you show, all that kind of stuff, subconsciously tell somebody, this is the company for me. They charge a lot. They don't charge very much. They're the economy. They're the economic version, or the brand. They're expensive brand. All those kinds of things. And so you want to make sure your website is designed to attract the customer that you actually want to call to ring the phone, and not like someone who's like, oh, you charge too much. It's like, well, okay, you should have been, maybe my website is bad and like is compelling you to call me when you actually want somebody else to call me.
Yeah. Cause I mean, that's why like even just using like stock images and such, like,
that's a big one.
Yeah. Like I'd always just say like, I'd rather you use a low quality photo that you took versus a high quality stock photo image, just because you can clearly tell it's fake so or fast. And then again, but going back to what you were saying of like, then the website looks kind of fake, and then you say, well, is this a real business actually? Like, is this, so yeah, like using the proper photos, just not having like the craziest colors on your website where it's like, light orange or bright orange with like white text and you can barely see and you got to remember like a lot of your traffic comes through the mobile device. So you have to remember like it's always best to check how the website is reading on your mobile device, because if someone's not driving, but if they're in the passenger seat and looking at the device, going to dinner, going to work, or what have you, and they're trying to get someone to come and book for whatever service they need, it's all happening on the mobile device. So making sure that the mobile device is optimized, both obviously SEO, but also for conversion, is super important. And most of it can be text based, right? Like again, like there's like on any of the websites that we make, there's literally no fancy feature to it. Like it's literally photos and text. Like if you're looking at the website, it's like photo on the left, text on the right. On the second blog, text on the right, a photo on the left, and then the third blog just center text, and then you just repeat that process over and over. So yeah, like it just has to be super simple and clean. But there's a few key elements, like we just said, that will attract the right. Because yeah, if someone is trying to have, or just say, let's just say like they just want the cheapest price. If you have your website and the content, the copy set up properly, they'll easily tell, okay, this person's not the cheapest. And you can already just, and if you want, like add your pricing on there. That way it'll off the top just shave off like the quote unquote like cheap customers from calling you. And that saves them time and most importantly saves you time from trying to work that lead when at the end of it, they're not going to book.
Oscar, this is great. Thanks for talking to SEO with us. I'm going to break it down in 3 actionable things that people can do today to improve their SEO. Number 1 is you want to optimize your service pages. So for every service that you do, gutter cleaning, gutter repair, gutter install, you want to have a page for each one of those. The second thing you want to do, number 2, is service areas. So Charlotte, Virginia, Houston, Texas, every area of town that you work in, if it's a small or even a neighborhood, maybe a big neighborhood, you have a page for each one of those. And the third thing is make sure that you're maximizing your Google business profile. It's free, it's pretty simple, and it just takes about an hour and a half to do. Just fill out all the content in there that you can, and that will reap benefits in the long term. Oscar, thanks for being here, man. That was great.
Yeah, thanks. It's always a joy to be here.
How do people find out more about you?
If you want, you can just go to on Instagram, just @DetailGroove, shoot me a message or just give me a follow.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
All right.
And thank you for listening. I hope that you heard something today that will make your SEO better and more optimized. I'm your host, Adam Sylvester. You can find me at adamsylvester.com. Your team and your clients deserve your very best, so go give it to them.